Welcome back, everyone, after a exceedingly short break, about a 40-second break or so in between two very solid matchups right now. We just finished it up with Poland versus Sweden. That match went 5-3 in Poland's favor, and we are now on to another banger of a matchup. Chile versus Russia here in the winner's bracket, Seed 4 versus Seed 13. But don't let that seeding fool you. Russia, historically a team that does very, very well on these early stage pools. And Chile, despite their high seeding out of the qualifiers, this round is a very new team to that high seeding. The expectations this year higher for them than ever before, and that pressure definitely can weigh down on some of these players. I think that this is going to be a very exciting matchup for both of those reasons. My name is Dio, and I am happy to be joined by Demarsh on this cast today. How's it going, Demarsh?
It's going well. It's going well. I had an absolutely amazing match to watch. You know, just all throughout today, they've been such high caliber, and yeah, again, this is just going to be one of those matches to watch. You know, like you said, Chile, they've got a lot to prove, but they've got the roster to do it. They've got the seeding behind them. The momentum is with this team, but you can never count out a roster like Russia. Never, ever, because every year they bring their best, and they're a team to be feared. Both of them.
I think that this match in part comes down to how well Chile is prepared for this match and how consistent they are on the day. When people talk about Russia, both historically and this year, you talk a lot about the consistency that this team has on those early stage pool, the round of 32, round of 16 qualifiers type pools that are that lower star rating. And you know, at this star rating, it was said last match, either by Chile or by T1G, that, you know, inconsistency on these early stage pools is often what actually decides a match, rather than the skill cap that comes out from some of these higher star rating players who are just that much better on the late stage, but, you know, might struggle a little bit on some of these early stage maps to maintain that consistency that they have had for you know, a lot of the higher stage pools. And Russia definitely has that consistency. You look at their qualifier results, there's not a ton of significant improvement from run 1 to run 2 on any particular map. And that sometimes means that when you compare a score from either run for Russia against a score from Chile's bad run in qualifiers, Russia actually beats out some of these bad runs that Chile had in the qualifier round. So despite, you know, fixing those issues the second time around, or having a really good first run and then a really bad second run for Chile, sometimes Russia can come out on top. And if they can get that foothold into some of those more mechanics-focused picks, we already see the Hidden 2 ban from Russia and the NoMod 2 ban from Chile kind of signifies exactly where this matchup is going. I think that Russia, if they can get their foothold into some of these speed-based hard rock picks as well, will have a really fun time in this matchup.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And the actual level, you know, both these teams, they had very solid last rounds. You know, round of 32, they were both on it. So Chile had a very good day that day, but, you know, now they have to step it up against this, you know, much more able squad who can pull out just as good scores in the early rounds. So they're going to have to really bring their A game, you know, not because Russia, with their consistency, if they are lacking in any areas of their consistency, Russia will pick up those break points, will pick up those solid picks of their own. You know, Chile have got to go above and beyond to beat this Russian side, but that makes for a very exciting game, and I love to see it starting off with this hard rock one.
This is one of those maps where if you compare Chile's bad run in the qualifiers to either of Russia's runs in the qualifiers on Hard Rock 1, it's actually Russia who comes out on top. But at the same time, the bad run for Chile was not even that bad. It was a 3.1 million team score on Hard Rock 1 in qualifiers, was their worst run in qualifiers. Their best run, however, the one that actually counts for them, they got 3.9 million team score on that map. They had an 800k, almost 1 million from Intercambing, and then over 1 mil from both DanyL and xaxreid on this. So no surprises as to the roster for this map for either team. By the way, Talala, Red Pixel, Tester PIVKA, and Leva Russian in for this one. We did see MrFuture play Hard Rock 1 in qualifiers for Russia instead of Talala. Otherwise, the exact same roster for both sides here, and that's going to take us into our first map. This is the first pick for Chile. This is a little bit different from the Hard Rock ones that we've had in previous weeks. This one far more multifaceted than a lot of the other maps that we have seen. Lots of kick slider aim patterns, a little bit of speed up and rhythm sections in this map as well. So it's a little bit different than comparing it to just some of the pure aim maps that we've had in Hard Rock 1 so far. And when you're talking about Russia as a team, you really tend to focus in on the raw mechanic skill for a lot of these players and how consistent they are on some of the raw mechanic picks at that lower star rating. But for Chile, when you do have that higher skill cap, the multifaceted maps tend to become better and better picks for those super high skill cap teams. You see the United States, for example, pick into really awkward tech maps or reading maps or maps like this that have a bunch of different things going on instead of the same simple types of patterns over and over again. So I do like this pick from Chile, despite how close some of the qualifier scores were between these two teams on Hard Rock 1.
Yeah, and I think what I really like about this pick as well is that, you know, it's a good test of how Russia are playing on Hard Rock, because, you know, we didn't see Russia play at all any of the Hard Rocks in the previous week. So it'll be good to see, you know, how they gauge this, because Chile had a very solid Hard Rock 2 score as well, which they might try and capitalize on if this goes well. There is a break coming in from talala and Intercambing. They trade this up. xaxreid will also find a break, so this is going to start to go towards the Russian side. They have the combo advantage.
Yeah, they've got that slight combo advantage on PIVKA over xaxreid. There goes DanyL as well. And now it's two full combos, Red Pixel and Liver Russian holding on. And Mathi, the only FC left up for Chile. Crucially, though, talala and Liver Russian both breaking for the Russian team. xaxreid follows it up with a break of zone, but there goes Liver Russian once again. Multiple breaks traded between both of the teams here for either squad. It's still Mathi and Red Pixel left standing after that breakdown section. PIVKA with a good supporting combo, but you look at Intercambing and DanyL, both higher than the other supporting combos on Team Russia. So this is basically completely even in terms of the combo. Look at the accuracy for Mathi on this as well. 1/100 so far on this map. He is beast moding it right now halfway through.
Yeah, he's got no issues with the overall difficulty of this map. There goes Red Pixel. xaxreid will trade as well. But it's looking slightly in favor of Chile now, as they still have DanyL building up that combo. It's close. It's really going to come down to whether Mathi can hold. Mathi really needs to hold. There goes DanyL and xaxreid. So it's Intercambing supporting Mathi now, but I still think they're going to hold this with talala breaking.
See supporting combos from PIVKA and Liver Russian that are putting the pressure on right now, but Intercambing matching that high combo from PIVKA. Look at the accuracy on Intercambing as well, 99.67%. So despite the miss, still a relatively high score. In fact, keeping up with PIVKA despite the higher max combo for PIVKA at the moment. And then you've got these other supporting combos for Russia, but all negated by that FC coming out of Mathi right now, dropping the accuracy a little bit down to closer to 99% for Mathi. There goes Intercambing as well. Now that combo break is huge. Red Pixel did match it over on Russia's side, but it is all on Mathi right now. These supporting combos for xaxreid and DanyL are just not enough to combat PIVKA and Liver Russian on huge combos for both of them, and there he goes as well.
Oh, that bar is moving. There is enough time, I think, in this map for that to flip over. It's going to be close, though, as we approach the end. That score bar, it's going. It's about 10k. It's going. Oh, it's so close to the end. It does flip over. But Russia have still got to hold this last bit. Red Pixel will drop. Can they hold it to the end? Just a little bit longer to go. They've got the big combos. They got it. They got it. Solid performance from both teams. Wow.
That is a very solid team score. It's what we were talking about at the start, though, with this consistency from Team Russia. You know, no incredible pop-off score for anybody in particular on this team. PIVKA with a really solid near 800k, but not at the same level as that high score from Mathi over on Team Chile. It's the consistency from the rest of the roster that dooms them on this first pick. xaxreid, unfortunately, not able to get above that 500k mark for Team Chile, and It's that early stage inconsistency that so many high seeding teams suffer from that makes it so that Team Chile does lose that first pick. And now I think these speed picks that Russia is starting to go for, NoMod 5 their first pick here, the speed in general is going to be highly contested between these two teams. There are so many good speed players on both of these rosters. Chile having fantastic scores on speed, both in the qualifiers and in the round of 32. The same obviously can be said for Russia, almost known for being one of the highest consistency speed teams in the tournament year after year after year for this roster.
No, absolutely right. But it's interesting that they picked this over something like DT2 to start with, because this is actually considered one of the easier maps. But actually, now that I think about it, you know, when we talk about Russia's consistency on these sort of easier maps, you know, I think this plays so well into their strengths, and all it's going to take is, I think, one slip up from this Chile roster, and I think Russia will just take this point. You know, I'd be very surprised to see some of these Russian players find any breaks on maps like this. So yeah, that's kind of my prediction going into this, is that I think Russia's going to hold all 4 of their combos, and Chile will just have one slip up and they might drop this point.
That's how it is in these early stages, right? It's the slight inconsistency from one team or another that often ends up deciding it, especially on, and I hate to use the term easy for any of these maps because we are in the World Cup. None of these maps are particularly easy for players, objectively speaking, but for these players in the World Cup right now, I think a lot of people have looked at NoMod 5 as one of the easiest maps in the pool, and that's where, you know, the overall consistency from the entire 4-player roster really starts to shine, is when you can have 4 people put up super high accuracy, or 4 people put up different full combos on the map all throughout, because all of this patterning is really simple. All of it is just these bursts and really small jumps all throughout the map. None of it really all that simple at all. 235 BPM bursts are not a significant challenge for the speed players in this tournament. That's when that consistency overall really shines. So you have to look to these 4 players from Chile to find that consistency that they were lacking with the other roster on Hard Rock 1. We do see xaxreid swap out for Chile, Montenegro and Gonzah coming in for this map. We do see an early break from Montenegro as well. Both of those definitely their speed experts here for Team Chile. You see a quick recovery from Montenegro, getting the accuracy back up, but still 4 full combos for Team Russia. Kiseki, Red Pixel, Apostol, and Leva Russian in for this one. All looking very, very solid. All very good speed players in their own right as well.
Yeah, and look at this consistency coming out from this Russian squad. I think that actually the break from Montenegro was a bancho. We have just seen another break there, but he still had a very high combo. Kiseki will be the first to drop for Russia though, so no 4-way from them. That's going to keep the margins still very close. Intercambing and I think Leva Russian are having the best time with this map. Such high accuracies from both of them. I know Leva Russian was holding that SS for the longest time, but Intercambing still going with it. And again, this is still very, very close. Kiseki does have that slight more combo, which is in favor of Russia at the moment, but again, the margin for error is so small. One break can flip this massively, even at this stage.
Especially as we go into the last quarter of the map, right? All these combos are so high. There's still so much potential score left, up 250k on every member approaching the end here. With the kind of accuracy that all of them have, it's not unreasonable to expect multiple scores over 950k. But there goes Intercambing, finds that extra slider break. And now, unless we see multiple drops from Team Russia, this just goes their way so easily. You can see that score just rocket over to the blue team side, and that is the power of holding on to the FC until the very end of the map, rather than just breaking slightly earlier, even if Intercambing doesn't break. However, you know, you see that 45k score lead for Kiseki over Montenegro, and everybody else on both sides holding basically the same accuracy on the full combos. Gonzah with a miss at the very, very end of the map. It really doesn't do too much overall to the score, but it's the slimmest of margins by which these leads come out for Team Russia. But that that is what you want to see. 2 100s and a 50 from Red Pixel, 3 100s for Leverussian, 6 100s for Apostol, 3 different full combos, all with single-digit 100 counts, is just a fantastic overall performance here on NoMod 5.
I mean, it's such a tough situation to go up against when you're going against this Russian shot. I mean, you have to imagine telling your players that you have to get above 3.6 million team score to take the point off Russia on NoMod 5. I mean, that is a ridiculous amount of consistency from a side like that. And, you know, Chile did not put up a bad score on that map at all. You know, 3.4 million is a very, very good score. But on these earlier stages, it's just not enough to edge this out. And Russia in a very strong position going into free mod 1 here, Chile's second pick.
I do like this pick from Chile. I think that it does work out fairly well for them. Russia is a team that is notorious for not really liking low approach rate hidden, not really enjoying reading picks, generally speaking. We saw the NoMod 2 ban from Chile and the NoMod 5 first pick from Russia. We also saw the hidden 2 ban from Russia, not wanting that low approach rate. And when you get those types of preferences for both of these squads, it then makes a lot of sense for Chile to pick into the remaining low approach rate, high circle size pick here in the free mod pool, Quan. One thing to note though, a lot of teams have been just overmodding this, taking a bunch of hard rocks. I think that's definitely what we end up seeing from Team Russia, right? We probably do not want to see them taking a ton of NoMods on this pick, but they actually go with 2 NoMods for both Kiseki and Red Pixel. So that's really interesting. No overmodding at all. This is actually really odd from both of these teams. We've seen so many people just overmod this pick, go 3 hard rocks, or even in Canada's case, 3 hidden hard rocks and 1 hidden. On this, the absolute bare minimum of mods for both teams is really odd. A lot of players have been finding this a lot easier on hard rock than NoMod, just due to the fact that it is approach rate 8. So this is a little bit interesting, to say the least. Gonzah and Vitya both dropping down early, finding a couple of early combo breaks for both of those sides. xaxreid and number 37 in for the hard rock and hidden for Chile, respectively. Red Pixel finding a drop on the NoMod as well. We see Intercambing in for NoMod alongside Gonzah on the Chilean roster. Kiseki and Red Pixel for Russia. Hard rock for Leverussian and hidden for Vitya.
Yeah, like you said, I really like this pick because it plays a bit to Chile's strengths. You know, Russia, they have to make certain players play certain mods, you know, and you end up bringing in that bit of inconsistency, as we see Gonzah and Vitya finding breaks, and Kiseki as well, bringing in those inconsistencies in the team play. You know, it looks like it's upset the Russian roster quite a bit, as they struggle to keep combos. Red Pixel finds a break as well. Look at over at the Chile side, this is one of their stronger picks. They're keeping the consistency high on this trickier map. They've forced the Russians to put mods on and to play this map differently, and it's working out for them. Leverussian, the only one with big combo at the moment for the side of Russia.
And that's why I was a little surprised at not seeing an overmod on the hard rock from Russia, because you see Leverussian having basically no issue with this. Both of these teams are still fairly solid at that CS 6.5 hard rock, so I almost expected to see an overmod from both of these teams, but namely for Russia with a couple of extra hard rocks. These players, even on the NoMod, clearly not super comfortable. Kiseki having a little bit of hard time hacking this map. Vitya, of course, on the hidden. That's basically a tank mod on this map. You don't see your hidden players do very well on this super often, which is why it's also very surprising. Look at number 37 on this map. 600k on the full combo, 99% act with hidden as well. It's almost universally agreed between the players right now that is the hardest way to play this map, is with hidden only. So very, very solid scores. And this is already almost said and done. I mean, we are 750k up for Chile at this point, even in the last quarter of the map. Even if Leverussian holds on, there's just not enough potential score left for him to take compared to these 3 FCs still going strong for Team Chile. And, you know, shaky start on Hard Rock 1, lost that pick by a relatively small margin, lost NoMod 5 by a relatively small margin for Chile as well. This definitely shows, I think, the skill cap for this roster. The expectation going into this match was that they do go into some of these trickier maps and just pull off scores like this, where you see, you know, almost 3 full combos coming out here. xaxreid missing on the hard rock, but Intercambing number 37 gonna finish it out with the NoMod and hidden full combos. Gonzah not too far behind on 800k, and that is a ridiculous team score, up almost 1.5 million points for Chile here on FreeMod 1.
Yeah, ridiculous score, and just what they needed to shake up this match. You know, they've got the point on the board now. You know, incredible plays coming in from number 37 and Intercambing, respectively. Really from the whole Chile roster. You know, Russia, they had some issues there. It just wasn't their map. But again, Russia, they still are in the power position. They got that first breakpoint off Chile, and now Chile have got to find a map from Russia's picks to fight back on this. You know, and Russia have just got to be very careful with their picks. Pick things that they're consistent at, that they might trip Chile up on. They just need to keep their points in their lap, and they're laughing. They're laughing if they can do that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they've already got the solidified breakpoint. They don't need to look for a breakpoint from Chile going towards the tiebreaker. As long as they just win their own picks, they are guaranteed to win the match. That is not what I expected to come out of Russia.
No.
That is not what I expected to come out of Russia, I have to say. We'll go ahead and take a look at this a little bit. I think that this generally does make some sense, though. Chile had a bit of a tough time with the tech map in qualifiers. Russia actually doing relatively well in comparison. Chile was right around that 2 million team score mark on both runs, and Russia did have one run that was right around there, but also had one run that beats Chile's score by about 600,000 score during qualifiers. So this is, you know, it's an interesting pick for sure. But they had a good time with the tech pick in round of 32 as well. And comparing the qualifier scores, Chile not the best team on technical maps like this, on heavy slider maps. So I think that this ends up working fairly well for Russia overall. They've got a few players who can go in for something like this. During qualifiers, it was PIVKA, Red Pixel, Lever Russian, and Kiseki. It looks like that is going to be the lineup here for them in the round of 16 as well. Talala subbing in for PIVKA during the round of 32 tactic, but that one was a little different. It was a little more focused on those super high velocity sliders with slider ticks in them. This one a little bit more well-rounded. Got a lot of cut streams in this map, a lot of those flow aim requirements, in addition to still a lot of that slider tech element, but not quite as heavy as we had last weekend. So I think that this does go relatively well for Team Russia. Pretty expected lineup here for Chile as well, with xaxreid and tfge filling it out for Intercambing and Mathi.
Yeah, again, Chile pulling out all the stops. They really want to try and get that break point back. You know, and the sooner the better. I think where Chile is really going to shine is, you know, we're probably a few maps away yet, but once we get into the late game and Russia start to run out of picks, I think that's when this Chile side is going to get really dangerous. But we have seen some early breaks. TFGE was the first one to go, followed by Red Pixel, and Lever Russian will go as well. So not a great start for Russia in their second pick. Again, a long way to go in this map. You know, 3 minutes 22, it's quite a length, but Chile have that early lead.
It's a good first quarter of the map for Chile, for sure. TFGE only down 100 combo from that FC. You have good act on the full combos from both Intercambing and Mathi. xaxreid not too far behind, right around the 98.5% accuracy mark. You've also got still 2 solid full combos for Russia right now. Kiseki and PIVKA, both close to or above that 99% mark. We do still see the score lead, though, growing further and further towards the red team, but it's not very big right now. It's less than that 100k mark, and that is a very, very small score lead overall. We're going to get into the second drop section now. The cut streams leading up to it do find xaxreid. He drops the miss there. TFGE drops the second full combo for Team Chile. Now it's Intercambing and Mathi still holding on for their side, but they have to hold. Look at these supporting combos from Red Pixel and Lever Russian, still going strong for Team Russia. And there goes Mathi on the slider break as well. PIVKA does answer that break, but it's still a full combo for Kiseki, and Intercambing is left completely alone, no supporting combo, whereas Red Pixel and Liver Russian definitely have Kiseki's back right now, looking on 1,000 combo for Red Pixel and 800, 900 combo for Liver Russian as well right now.
Yeah, Russia can still afford a drop here and still be quite comfortable with this last quarter of the map. There goes Kiseki, as I said, but as long as they keep these supporting combos now, there's a bit more pressure on. But if they can hold them, they should do fine. But again, those Chile supporting combos, they are starting to come. Russia cannot afford another break here if they want to keep this point. But they are holding. As long as they do, they're in a good position. Intercambing already at 900k. He has got almost no score left, and Russia will take this point break from Red Pixel, but it's not enough.
Yeah, those breaks near the end of the map not really mattering for Red Pixel. Liver Russian and himself with fantastic combos to close out the pick. Kiseki missing near the end at that 1200 combo mark, but you know, even the lowest combo on Russia's side from Vitya is still higher than anybody else on Team Chile aside from Intercambing. Only the FC was able to out-combo anybody on Team Russia. And well, yes, he does drop the highest score in the lobby. It's the overall team consistency, once again, that Russia has on Team Chile right now. You look at xaxreid and tfge hovering around that 500k mark, and it just pales in comparison to the backup scores that Russia has, all within about 200k of each other, right? This is a very, very well-rounded team on these early stage pools, and it makes every pick that they have that much better for them when you can always count on somebody on that roster to do well. Not necessarily the same player every time, but there is always somebody on that Russian team who is going to find a solid score regardless, and everybody else is still going to be relatively close behind, right? That's what makes them so potent on these early stage pools. This type of map, however, picked up by Team Chile, I think I actually like quite a lot. This is preying on the weakness that Russia has on the modification, right? Russia, known for not being a hidden team. They are definitely shy when it comes to throwing on the hidden modification. They did not play it at all last weekend either, so this is something that they tend to avoid if they can. However, during qualifiers, with that hidden one pick in quals, it was relatively close between these two teams. Once again, we're going to have to see some very strong scores coming out of these lower tier members on Team Chile. I expect to see Intercambing Mathi in for this, given the fact that this is one of the higher skill cap aim maps in the pool. But it's actually going to be number 37 joining Intercambing now for this. So it's xaxreid, Gonzah, and number 37 alongside Intercambing for Team Chile. Tester PIVKA, Red Pixel, Vitya, and Liver Russian in for Russia right now. Liver Russian and Red Pixel in particular go in for almost every map on this team. Tester PIVKA in for quite a lot of picks as well. So not super surprising for either of these rosters, but it's a really interesting sort of map pick where I think it almost comes down to how these players are performing on the day. And when you have that extra mental pressure as Chile, not only are you down 3-1, but you are the higher seeded team, it really can make something like this that is almost just a simple aim map that much more difficult when you are battling those nerves. For Russia's side, it's not even their pick. They're already up. They are the lower seeded team. The nerves definitely work in their favor on a pick like this, and that's something to consider if we do start seeing some shakes come through from some of these players on this pattern aim, super awkward hidden aim map. We do see an early miss from xaxreid, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting pick from Chile. I think it's a good one based on the modification, but in terms of the fact it's an awkward aim map, and like you mentioned, the nerves are going to be high, it can be risky. I've seen this pick already backfire for multiple teams, ending matches because the pressure got too much and the misses came in and swing the other way on a map like this very quickly. But aside from that early break from xaxreid, solid start for everybody else. As we get into this, Russia do lead very slightly. Again, long way to go. xaxreid will find another break. That one a bit more significant now, quarter of the way through the map. Quite a bit to lose for Chile. They're going to have to start praying for a break from Russia now.
One other thing that I think we didn't talk about with this map is this is a much longer pick than most of the other maps in this board. It's over 4 minutes for this map. And when you are looking at the type of skill that tests, map length is a factor to consider. This is a test of your consistency on something like this. And we have been talking up Team Russia's consistency all throughout this match. Russian finally drops the first combo for them, but Intercambing follows it right up for Team Chile as well. Usually their rock, he now drops down alongside xaxreid, and it's just Gonzah and number 37. Gonzah, actually, with a reverse choke, does have a very, very early combo break to his name, but basically on the FC score line, up against 3 FCs now from Tester, PIVKA, Red Pixel, and Vitya. So this is a bad spot for Chile to be in right now. They have to make sure that their members who did miss can hold. They have to hold on to these full combos, and they've just got to be praying for a bit of a collapse to come through for Russia, because this score lead is already far and away higher than it really has any right to be halfway through the map, especially now with number 37 dropping down during this PI time. We see xaxreid find another miss. It's matched by Vitya, so it is 2 full combos to 1, but the supporting scores are matched between Intercambing and Russian, and it is Gonzah up against Tester, PIVKA, and Red Pixel, holding on to 1 full combo versus 2. Again, this is just not the type of pick that is working out for Chile right now. It is too close up against this Russian squad.
Again, Intercambing finds another break. Gonzah is probably the strongest hidden player in these early rounds, Chile. So I expect him to be able to hold on to that, but it's really looking at Tester, PIVKA, and Red Pixel. Can they hold on to this? They tend to get higher scores, but there goes Red Pixel. He does drop xaxreid, though. Still struggling to recover on this map. He cannot build up a high combo. Intercambing also running into the same issue. Number 37 trying to recover, but he's just going to get absolutely cancelled out by the supporting combo of Vitya. Russian does find a break, though. That's a double reset for Russia. Tester, PIVKA goes as well. Gonzah has the big combo right now.
But there's just not enough time left in the map. Gonzah only has so much score left that he can realistically accrue maybe, you know, a million score at best right now, or close to around there. So even with those breaks at the end of the map, it's unfortunate for Chile, but it's just not going to be enough. The ending of this map is just not going to do it, especially with that break to come through for Gonzah, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. That is 250k at least in the bag for Russia on this map, and match point as well going into their next pick. This is the power of that early stage team that we've been talking about all match long. Say what you will about the skill cap for some of the players on Team Chile. If they can't convert on it, then what is the point? This Russian team is showing exactly why that preparation for these early stage matches is so important, especially in an early round like the round of 16. They are just demolishing Chile right now.
Yeah, you're at the point where you can't really rely solely on the skill cap, like you mentioned. You know, the early rounds, it's what trips teams up, it's why you get upsets, especially in the round of 16. You see it sometimes in the round of 32, as we did with a couple of matches, but particularly these later ones where teams make mistakes. And, you know, it's what Russia does. Russia will come in and sweep up those early mistakes. And it's put Chile in a really bad position. I still think Russia's going to have at least another solid pick in the bank before we start getting to the close period. So Chile have got to really work hard on this next map. They want to stay in the winners bracket.
And unfortunately, they don't even get a say in where they have to make that comeback start, right? This is Russia's pick. They have full control over this match right now. So you're going to have to really pull out all the stops if you are Team Chile. You need some of these more experienced players to rally the troops, make sure that the mental is all right going into this next pick. You know, it can be really daunting. You have a team for Chile this year with, I believe, 5 new players on the squad who are I'm sorry, 3 new players on the squad, but relatively inexperienced tournament players all throughout this roster, or people who have just come back after a hiatus like DanyL, right? And you need some of these more experienced players, you need some of those carry players to really pull in some of these younger players, make sure that they are ready to go for these next maps, because if they aren't mentally prepared for these maps, if they aren't in a calm state of mind, if they are super nervous, it is only going to make the comeback that much more difficult. So going into this double time 2 pick for Russia, you've gotta be thinking for Montenegro and Gonzah that they are at least in that better state of mind. You want to see them perform well on this. You want to see a close matchup between these two teams, especially as we already see Russia going up match point. So this is, it's do or die for Chile. We'll see if they were able to rally or not here. The comeback has to start now if it starts anywhere.
Yeah, and Russia, I think this is a very solid pick for them. You know, it's that sort of map. It's similar to NoMod 5, you know, BPM being higher, but it's the sort of map that might trip Chile up, and if it does, look out, because Russia they're going to come in strong with consistent scores across, you know, all the troops. Good starts for both teams, no early chokes, no dropping of combo. But Russia with the slight accuracy advantage to start this off.
Montenegro in particular struggling with the accuracy for Team Chile. You see Kiseki and LevelRussian down below that 99% mark, but not anywhere close to where Montenegro is. That is a break from Apostol though. So now that Apostol has found that early break about a third of the way through the map, it definitely does give some leeway to Team Chile on the accuracy front. They need to hold on to these combos though. They need to build up some of this score lead. It might look big on screen, but a 50-70k score lead is not all that large right now, so they need to find the full combos for these members. Montenegro crucially does find that slider break for them. Intercambing Mathi and Gonzah still on the over 99% full combos for 2 out of 3 of those players. Intercambing just beyond that 99% mark. Is combo lead for Apostol once again for Team Russia though. And over time, that combo lead is going to start to bring the score back over, especially now there's that second miss from Gonzah. 2 FCs down for Chile. It's Intercambing and Mathi left standing, but 3 FCs for Russia. Kiseki, Red Pixel, and LevelRussian doing the work that is necessary. They're going to see they're up that extra full combo. And Intercambing, the nerves just get to him, man. And that is going to be it. There's probably no way we see the full 4-man collapse from Russia right now. And that is the only way that this pick comes back over. What an upset from Russia. 5-1 on the day over Team Chile. They just played super, super well to get that point. And Team Chile, the inconsistencies that plagued them in some of those qualifier runs come back to bite them here against Russia. This really is the team where if you put them up against somebody who has those inconsistent early rounds, they will just eat them alive. Look at that 4.2 million team score. Just absolutely fantastic coming out of Russia here.
Yeah, I mean, they have the history. They are known to do this sort of thing. You know, good seed, bad seed. To Russia, it doesn't matter. It's just another round. They will practice just as hard for every match, and it's what makes them so deadly, especially if they're getting a lower seed. You know, higher seeded teams, they need to watch out for Russia. You know, this week and next week, they'll still be, I think, very dangerous, and it's what's helped them get through to the winners bracket quarterfinals. You know, congratulations to Russia. Very strong, consistent performance from them.
Yeah, this is the Team Russia that is just so scary year after year, man. The addition of LevelRussian onto this roster has done wonders for some of those early game maps. I believe he played every single map in this match, if I'm not mistaken. And he top scored almost all of them as well. He had a couple maps where he was a little bit inconsistent, but he was near the top on every single pick for this roster. A new addition to the Russian OWC team, just absolutely killing it this year. And like we've talked about, this is that early stage monster team that just can completely catch some of these higher seeded teams off guard. Chile, seed number 4 in the tournament, now in the losers bracket for the quarterfinals weekend. Russia moving on in the winners bracket to face off against, actually we had another upset in the bracket. Indonesia fell earlier to Hong Kong, so it is the 2 giant killers up against each other in the winners bracket next weekend. Russia versus Hong Kong, 2 teams that are just absolutely fantastic on those early stage pools. That is a matchup to watch. They are both just so consistent. These players do not miss for either of those teams, so I am excited to watch those matches. Good luck to both Chile and Indonesia in their losers bracket matches.